I want to jump into something that I'm going to enjoy and I can make a difference with. And that's exactly why I joined the prison service.
Do you know they always say, oh, people join the police force, join the prison service because they've been bullied as a kid?
That is mostly true, that saying. I'd look to the left, I'd look to the right in an incident to see who was backing me up. No one's there. I've got two 18-year-olds next to me. I was suspended for 18 months, full pay. So they're wasting taxpayers' money.
Would you go prison for 500 grand for 1 year? What's going on, guys? This video is sponsored by Louis. Some of you know him on Insta as Loads, one of the best Instagram names, let me tell you that. Guys, Louis has been building online businesses for the last 5 to 10 years, and he has spent the last 5 years coaching others one-to-one on how to start businesses. Louis's got over 2,000 profitable testimonials, and guys, let me be honest with you, I wouldn't let someone sponsor the show who I didn't vouch for, so trust me, it's legit. Literally, just go send him a DM on Instagram, it's @Loads. All you got to do is say to him, I come from the Blue Tick Show, help me make some money. And I know most of these people out there scams, and there's plenty of people out there offering you millions and millions of pounds and stuff like that. Louis is one of the 1% who actually do it properly, legitly. You don't need nothing. All you literally need is a phone and Wi-Fi. Send him a message and leave the rest to him. Guys, and if you want to know why I'm sitting here pushing it so much, it's because realistically, doing a 9 to 5 ain't going to get you nowhere. And I know most people sit here and say this because they're getting some sort of commission for it and stuff like that, but I really ain't. I'm telling you as a good person, the host of the show, doing a 9 to 5 ain't going to get you nowhere. So go message Louis, say you come from the Blue Tick Show, just ask Louis for the business model, let him do the explaining, and let him explain to you how he can help you. I'll see you soon. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Blue Tick Show. Opposite me today, I've got JT, ex-prison guard, here to talk about the corruption in prisons. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
Pleasure having you. I always say it to all my guests, it's a pleasure. You lot are coming in and making the show possible. How are you, firstly?
I'm not too bad. Yeah, can't complain. You know, it could be worse, couldn't it?
It depends. Depends how much worse.
True. That is true.
But listen, clearly people know you as ex-prison guard. You're on TikTok telling the untold stories from your prison journey. How long was you a prison guard for?
I was a prison guard for 5 years.
Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. I did. Believe it or not, it was a demanding, stressful job, but I enjoyed it, you know.
Okay.
I'll tell you a little bit more.
Yeah, we're going to dive into that. Don't worry about it. We're going to dive all into it later on in the podcast. But look, I like to always throw it back to my guests' childhood. Talk to us a little bit about your upbringing. Where are you from?
I'm from Brentwood, Essex. All my family are from East London, Canning Town area, West Ham. Yeah, my childhood was really, really good. I had a brilliant upbringing. So I can't complain on that side. Yeah.
No dramas as a kid?
No dramas as a kid. You know, well, when you're a kid, you think you're a bit of a gangster, don't you?
Who doesn't?
Yeah, exactly. Going around the streets and all that. But I was soon put into shape.
So, obviously, you evolved to become a prison guard. That's not what you do no more.
No.
But as a kid, what was school like for you?
I liked school.
You're the first guest I've had on here. Every answer I'm throwing at you is the opposite to what I'm expecting. You know that.
I love school. I loved a bit of school. So my favourite topics were English, maths, and PE. I was big on sport, big in PE. I played for East of England basketball. So yeah, I absolutely loved school. Loved it. Can't complain.
Fair enough. You love school. When you left school, what was your first job?
First job was so I'd done my GCSEs. And I could have gone into college, but I thought, you know what, I want to earn a bit of money. And I went straight into London as a little runner for a solicitor's firm.
All right. Enjoy it?
Nah.
Hated
it. I think I lasted about 6 months there.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Why? What didn't you like about it?
It was very, well, when you're 16, you don't like being told what to do, really, do you?
No one does.
Know? And every day it was do this, do that. And, you know, people might go, yeah, but that's what jobs are like. Yeah. But when you're 16, you don't realise that at all. So I lasted 6 months, and I thought, I'm not doing this no more. And I took probably 6 months out, and I went into another job, insurance, which was a little bit better.
What was that about? Car insurance? What kind of insurance?
First of all, it was car insurance, yeah. And then after a year of doing that, I moved out to Spain.
Oh yeah?
For about a year and a half. And it was all good. Loved it, as you can imagine. Sun, sea, booze, you know. But it got boring. After a year and a half, I wanted to come home and make some money again, you know. So I come home, and I got into insurance once again, and that was brokerage, so a bit different to car insurance.
Okay, fair enough. Did you enjoy all that? Was that part of your life is the normal stage?
Yeah, it was the normal stage. I mean, I did enjoy it, I did, but who wants to work 9 to 5?
No one.
You know, people have to do it, of course. People got to earn a living, ain't they? And I don't knock anyone for doing it, but it's not really what you want to do in life.
What did you want to aspire to be?
If I'm honest, I wanted to be a sportsman. I wanted to play basketball.
Oh, really? That was it, yeah?
And I feel like I could have done that, but at the age of 16, 17, 18, booze is introduced. You're going out.
Yeah.
Women introduced. And then you sort of just give it up. But everything happens for a reason. It is what it is.
So at what age did you start get involved in the prison guard life?
Age 26.
All right, quite old.
Age 26. People say it was the perfect age to start because you've got that life experience. You're not too young. You're not too old. You've got that life experience, and it's the perfect age to start, really.
What made you want to actually become a prison officer?
See, I've got family members that was in jail, okay? So we got my uncle. He was always in and out.
What was he in for?
Petty things,
Okay.
burglary, stealing things from shops and, drugs, etc., etc. He was always in and out all of his life. And then you've got my dad. When he was younger, he was a bit of a bad boy. He's told me stories. He's been, in little gangs, and he's been hit over the head with an hammer and axed in the shoulder. He's got all the scars to show it. And then, one day he got done for firearms, and he was thrown in jail. This was way before I was even born.
Okay, yeah.
30 plus years ago now. But yeah, he went away for a few years, and then so it got to a point for me. I knew all these stories. I've got family members that was in jail. I've got mates that have been in jail, and I thought, I want to make a difference. All this office work that I told you about, that I found boring, I want to jump into something that I'm going to enjoy and I can make a difference with, and that's exactly why I joined the prison service.
Did you think about going into the police force?
I did think about it, I did, but there was something just dragging me to the prison service instead. I couldn't tell you that reason, but for me, it was, I want to try and help inside instead of just nicking people. Yeah. You've done wrong, off you go, sort of thing.
Because inside's where the real change actually happens.
Exactly that.
So let me ask you a question then. You had family members who were involved in the life of crime.
Yeah.
What made you stay away from crime and try and make a difference instead of get involved in the crime world?
I've seen it. It's not a life to lead. I've seen my uncle in and out every month. Not happy, no money. I've seen, heard stories that my dad's told me. He's told me, listen, it's not the life you want to live. It's not, one day you're going to get caught. You may be free for 20 years, living it up, earning all this money, but it's going to catch up to you. You're either going to get seriously hurt or you're going to get thrown in jail.
Did you ever turn to the life of crime?
Never ever. I mean, it's weird because when you hear all these stories from your role models, my dad, you want to be just like them. Yeah. Oh, my dad done this and my dad done that, and he earned this and he earned that, or he did this and that. I want to do that. I wonder what that's like. I want to be just like him. So you did think about it.
Of course, everyone does. If you didn't, then it'd be strange.
Exactly. But then he was strong enough, both of my parents, put me on the right track. Made sure I went to school, made sure I got an education, made sure I was clothed and fed. And so, yeah, in the end.
Listen, I don't know what a criminal looks like, yeah? Criminals can come in all shapes, sizes, forms, but definitely. You don't look like a prison guard, I'll tell you that for free.
What do I look like?
Listen, you're a big lump. I've never been in prison. I've never been in prison. I don't know what they look like, but you look like a lump, mate. If they look like that in prison, then fuck me, no one's going to be messing about.
Well, this is the thing. This is one of the reasons why I left the prison service. If you want to talk about it now or later.
Tell me a little bit about it now.
So, one of the reasons why I left the prison service was they were recruiting anyone and everyone. So they were recruiting 18-year-olds.
I had a 19-year-old prison guard come on my show before, and I thought, you know what, you're in there with real gangsters.
Yeah.
Like proper people who don't give a fuck.
They don't.
So if you've got someone in there who's scared, who runs the prison?
Well, that's it. And then imagine, a gangster in there, or a hard man, or whoever it is, right, getting told what to do by an 18-year-old or 19-year-old. They're not going to like that. Yeah. Someone who hasn't got life experience, someone who doesn't know what they're doing, they're going to go, I ain't banging up with you. Who do you think you are? You know, I've had more dinners than you. Like, it's one of them. But yeah, so one of the reasons why I did leave was the recruitment process. I'd look to the left, I'd look to the right in an incident to see who was backing me up.
No one's there.
No one's there. I've got two 18-year-olds next to me. Now, I'll always say on my live, respect for the young uns wanting to go and make a career for themselves in the prison service. Someone's got to do it, right? So big respect to them. But at the same time, I just think it's not right. They haven't got life experience. They haven't got this and they haven't got that. So,
what was it like working for the police in general?
The prison service.
Yeah. Who was you? What prison was you working in?
I worked in HMP Chelmsford.
Okay, what was that? So, what cat was that?
That was Cat B. That was local remand.
Okay, what was that like?
So you've got all types of characters in there. They're all waiting to go to court, or they've been sentenced. So the Chelmsford one, you was allowed to, after being sentenced, you could stay there for a year to 18 months. Okay, and then you got transferred. So there was all different characters in there. You've got murderers, rapists, paedophiles, petty crimes in there. You've got domestic violence. You've got all sorts in there, and it was dangerous. You had to have eyes at the back of your head, definitely.
Did you enjoy that?
I did. I like the buzz of it. I got on with 90%, 95% of the prisoners in there. You speak to them on a level. You don't disrespect them. You let them know there's a line that they don't cross, and we don't cross that line with them as well. It's a mutual respect. We're not there to judge. They've already been judged, been sentenced, and sent to jail. So our job is not to, you're this, bang up.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. So I've got on with most people in there, but you got a good few that still didn't get on with you because you wore the uniform.
This video is sponsored by Cranbrook Law, an award-winning immigration law firm. Their talented solicitors can help when any struggles arise regarding immigration law. They can help get you the visas they need. They can help get you the staff you need from any other countries. As you can see, the website is on the screen right now. So if you need anything to do with immigration law, message Cranbrook Law and let them help you. Whether you're looking to obtain a sponsor license, receive advice and guidance in relation to compliance and our civil penalties, or take advantage of our know-how and experience across a broad range of business visas, our talented and dynamic immigration lawyers are available to speak to you. Telephone numbers on the screen, emails on the screen, and hit the link in the bio if you need any help. But what I want to understand is, they always say, people go to join the police force, join the prison service because they've been bullied as a kid. That's the number one thing you hear, and you've probably heard that hundreds of times.
Yeah, of course.
Was you bullied as a kid?
I wasn't bullied as a kid, no.
Okay, you wasn't bullied as a kid.
But I will say to you, that is mostly true, that saying.
Really?
Most definitely, yeah. So most of the officers in the prison service, they put that uniform on and they act like Bertie Big Bollocks. I've got this uniform on. You would do as I say. Yeah. I'm in charge, not you. You've done wrong. Get in your cell. It's one of them. And you get them in there. You do get them in there. But with saying that, you also get amazing officers that want to make a difference, that want to change someone, and that are down to earth and get on with everyone. So they're not all like that, but there's a high percentage of officers that, you look at them and they tell you still, I went into his cell and I'll give him a crack. And you look at them and you think,
no, you didn't, mate.
Yeah, exactly. You were definitely bullied at school, 110%.
Yeah. So listen, talk to us through your process of joining the prison service.
Yeah, prison service. So from how to join it, beginning.
Yeah, tell us, what was the idea that went through your head and the lead up to it, and then going there, getting the interview, the whole story. Talk us through it.
So like I said, I was in insurance, and I thought, I've had the pox of this. I can't be doing something like this anymore.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do something totally different. And I thought, what do I want to do? And I want to help people. Yeah, that was the main thing that I wanted to do, help people. So it was either be a mentor, a support worker, or a prison officer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I jumped straight into the deep end. Let's go and be a prison officer. Let's be mixed in with everyone and see if I can make a difference. So, yeah, I jumped on the internet, government website, become a prison officer, and you apply from there. There's so many stages you have to do.
Really?
Yeah, but the process to be a prison officer is not hard. But I think that's wrong, again, because there should be a proper recruitment process. You know, there should be criterias.
Do they check your background and stuff?
They vet you, yeah, they do.
But your dad went to prison for arms.
Yeah.
Why was you still allowed to be a prison officer?
You have to declare that still.
You have to, yeah?
You do have to declare it. So let's just say he was, for two reasons. If he was a top gangster,
Yeah.
right? I won't mention no names. You can name
Yeah.
a few. And they were my dad or uncle. They would probably go,
No. No chance.
no way. You're coming in here for a reason. You
Yeah.
know, that's not on. Now, let's just say it's not a name. For instance, my dad, he's been in jail 30 years plus. They go, fine. Now, you have to declare it for the reason. If he comes in,
You got to go out.
yeah, but they know then. They know,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that's his relative, that's his dad. So he's not allowed on that wing, or he will be transferred somewhere else.
Did you have any people you know come into prison?
Oh, most definitely. I had people from school.
Really?
Yeah, people from school come in. And it's quite sad, actually, you know, because they was only in for petty crimes. But it is sad to see. But again, you have to declare it and say, look, I knew him from school, just in case something happens and it comes out that I knew that person.
So even if, for example, let's say I knew you from school. Fuck me, no. Let's say someone else, not me, I don't want to say I went to prison. Jack knew you from school. Walks in, you see him, you think, that's Jack. Bloody hell, that's Jack from school. Have you got to walk back to your boss, I suppose, and say, oh, I know that geezer?
I'll be honest with you. I'll go up to Jack and I'll say, hello, mate, how you doing? If I knew him that, you know, how you doing? What are you in for? You know, he'll tell me. And then I'll say to him, listen, I've got to declare this because I've got to report it for this reason, that reason. Mm-hmm. It's nothing against you. And that's that. Then you have to go to security. Tell security. They will ask you questions.
Like?
How do you know him? You know,
I knew him from school.
That's it. Well, how close are you with him? How long have you known him? Blah, blah. All them types of questions.
Yeah.
And then they would say, you're not allowed on that wing. Or, like I said, they will go, okay, this is a bit fishy, or, you know, transfer him. And that's that, really.
That's a bit mad, though, isn't it?
It is mad.
Just because you know someone, what if you're not seeing the geezer in 10 years, 10, 15 years? You might
That's
not
it.
actually even...
Well, not if that's the case, then they probably wouldn't transfer him.
Okay.
You know,
But they'll
they
just
would
tell you, listen,
they would
keep
say,
away.
yeah. And if they see me going on that wing,
There's a problem.
yeah, or talking to him, there's a problem.
What did you experience in prison? How bad was it?
My personal experience, now everyone has different experiences in prison as an officer, okay? I think it depends how you are as a person. Now, if you're going to be a bit of a dick, you're going to have a hard time, most definitely. You know, if you're one of them, you do as I say, you're going to have a hard time. You're going to get thrown at you all day long, okay? Now, I'm not like that as a person, and I actually went in there to make a difference and want to change people, okay? So my experience was good. I got on with everyone. I made a rapport up with all these prisoners, but there were incidents. If I was to say, you know, for the 5 years I was in there, I had no trouble whatsoever. You know, I was squeaky clean. I didn't have no fight. I would be lying. Okay, so yeah, there was a few incidents where I had to fight.
Seriously?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not what I want to do. You know, I've had in the 5 years I was there, I had 3 fights. Now that's not including restraints. These were
Scraps for
yeah.
that.
And I'm not there to fight.
You don't wake up in the morning, go to work thinking,
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, but you get them though. You do get them.
Yeah, of course you do.
But yeah, that's not me. But other than that, My experience was brilliant. It was good. It was the other bits that I didn't agree with, the recruitment process, the support from management. You get no support from management whatsoever.
In what sense? What support did you want?
To a point where if a prisoner did wrong, okay, it got to a point where an officer was afraid to restrain that prisoner because it will be deemed as, you know, excessive force straight away. Even though there's cameras, it's, well, why did you restrain him? Oh, because he punched me in the face. Yeah, but why didn't you speak to him first?
Because he's punched me in the face.
There we go. And it gets like that. And before you know it...
Everyone's scared to even speak to him.
That's
everyone in the prison.
Exactly that.
Yeah, what was your first day like?
See, I told this story on my TikTok. The first week was...
Hell.
It was mad. It was mad. It was what would you call it? You know, break or make.
Yeah.
Okay. And fortunately for me, it was a make. As weird as this is, so it was the first week. I think it was like the third day in of the first week, and I'm giving out canteen. Right. Yeah. So canteen you give out every Friday, and you go around with a clipboard and you give your canteen out. Right. His name's that. Yeah. He's got 3 bags. This cell, yeah, right, put the bags down. Now, half hour went by and someone's pressed their cell bell. So I've gone over to him and I've undone the flap. And I said, oh, hello, mate, how you doing? He said, I'm looking down there. I ordered 6 bags and there's only 3 down there. So I've looked, what's your name? There is 6 bags, actually. You have only got 3. Well, what are you going to do about it? He said. I said, well, let me finish the round. And I'll make sure the 3 bags that are not there are there. Give me 15 minutes.
I'll bring it back.
Yeah. No, I want it now. You know, so I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, okay, you can't have it now. Well, why not? I said, look, give me 15 minutes. So in prison, the rule is if you tell a prisoner that you're going to do something,
you got to do it.
Make sure you do it because they will remember it. And it's not nice, is it? They're locked in they've done their crime, but they're locked in a cell. They're asking you to do something, especially if it's important, and you ain't done it. Now they're going to get frustrated as anything. So give me 15 minutes. I promise you, I'll get them. All right? And he's looked at me and he said, it's not good enough. If you don't get my bags right now, I'm going to cut myself. So with that, he's got a toothbrush out of his pocket and he's got a razor attached to it on the end. Okay? And he's put his wrist up and he said, you've got 10 seconds to go and get my bags.
Fuck am I meant to do that?
This is what we're dealing with, okay? So I'm looking at him and now I'm thinking, you know, I've not come across anyone yet like this. You know, it's all good training.
Stay free, man. Allow it, please.
That's it. So he's counting 10, 9, and I'm trying to talk him down. Saying,
it ain't working.
Mate, come on. Like, at the end of this 10 seconds, do you really think I'm going to have your bags? Think about it. And he's still counting down as I'm talking. I can't do nothing about it. So I'm now looking at him, and he's counting down. He's got to 1, and he's gone, boom. And there's obviously getting blood everywhere. So, you know, I've called the radio. It says code red. Code red is blood. Code red, cell number on this wing. So everyone's come running. The nurses and all that, they've undone his door, they've seen to him, they've bandaged him up, etc, etc. So I've carried on doing my canteen, giving out all the bags and all that.
You've got to keep everyone else happy as well.
That's it, yeah. So after they're finished, this was 10, 15 minutes later, he's pressed his bell again. So I'm looking around and I'm thinking, no one's here to help me, I'll go over again. So I've undone his flap. I said, hello, mate. He said, you got my bags yet? I said, no, not yet. I said, I was going to get it in 10, 15 minutes. You've done what you've done. That's delayed it. Give me 10, 15 minutes.
Now you're pushing your luck, geez.
I will go and get it. Like, come on. And he said, nah. He said, you've had your chance now. I'll give you another 10 seconds. And I'm now standing there thinking...
Yeah, I know he's going to do it.
Yeah. He's going to cut his wrist again, you know? So he pulls out another one. So when officers go in there after the first incident, they get out any sharps they can, okay? We've managed to hide another one. And he's pulled this one out, And I'm thinking, nah, not again. Come on. And he said, this time, though, I'm going to cut my throat. So I'm thinking, so he's counting 10, 9. And now I'm thinking, well, he done it the first time. Now he's put it to his throat. This is going to be serious. So I said, mate, please. I said, come on. Like, let's not be silly. I'll go and get them now. Put it down. Give it to me. I'll open the door. Give it to me. And I'll go and get them. No, you've had your chance. And it gets to 1. And he cuts. Boom. He cuts it. And when I say cuts it, blood just went everywhere. And now I'm thinking... So I've had to go on the radio again, you know, same cell, blah, blah, blah. He's had to be sent to hospital, all stitched up. He's had to have stitches. It was bad. He survived. But I'm thinking, this is my 3rd day in, and someone's cut their throat open because they've not got canteen bags. What am I in for next?
Wow.
So that was my first
that
week.
Probably taught you a lesson. Like, when they ask for something, give them it. But then
Definitely.
the problem is, you can't be a pushover as well.
And that's
You've
the
got to
thing.
be it's your prison at the end of the day.
You can't be manipulated because let's just say another prisoner, I got his bags or whatever he wanted. Another prisoner saw that. They're going to do the same thing.
Yeah,
Well, I want this. If you don't do it, I'm going to cut my throat. So, yeah.
Well, he genuinely cut his own throat just for 3 bags of canteen.
Yeah. That's how mad it is in there.
And that was in your first week.
That's my first week, 3rd day in.
Wow. And do you get in any trouble for that?
No. So I do get questioned. I have to write a report after. You know, what happened? Why did he cut himself? Literally a report. There's also cameras. You see me talking to him through the door and all that. So no, I wouldn't get in trouble with that. Definitely not.
I'm still in shock.
It's mad. It is madness. It's a different world in there. This is what people
And
don't
what did
realise.
you do when he slit his throat? What did you do?
I panicked. You know.
Because he could have died.
Of course he could have. I was worried. I panicked and I thought, what do I do now? My brain was telling me, right,
Open the door and help him.
I've done my training. What do I do? What's the next step? And it was that, you know, get on the radio, say there's code red, open the door, put a towel around his throat, you know, all this and that. And it was after that, I walked out and I thought, well, I've done it. So why would it break me now?
Yeah.
You know, but that's just me. In some cases, that might actually break people and go, this ain't for me.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, have you been thinking of move to Dubai? I've partnered up with Cranbrook Legal to make your experience so much easier. Literally, I got the main man from Cranbrook Legal right now to tell you how easy it is.
Guys, it's as simple as picking up the phone, giving us a call and letting us get on with the business.
What, literally, one phone call?
Literally 1 phone call, a few documents, and we're there.
And then I just get up, fly to Dubai, and I ain't got to pay tax no more?
Yeah, you can come and see us. We'll take you out for a meal, show you Dubai, and then it's all up to you after that.
Bro, where do I sign now? So, first week, apart from that, was all good?
It was all good after that, yeah. I mean, there was more incidents.
Yeah, no, we're going
As
to
you
get
can
into that,
tell.
don't worry about that. But then, you went home that night. Did that affect you when you was at home?
I did think about it. Yeah, of course, it was a shock.
Do they let you know? Did he come back to the prison?
He came back to the prison.
Did you
Yeah.
speak to him?
No, he went back in his cell and he
Good as gold.
carried on with his sentence. It was, yeah.
How long was he in for?
I'm not too sure on that one. You can, if you wanted to, you could go on a system. And
Yeah, can you guys find out how long people are in prison for?
Yeah,
Can you see what they've done?
yeah.
What can you not see?
We can see everything. There's 2 systems, right? I won't name them,
Okay.
just in case. But there's one where you can see their address, all their info, date of birth, how long they're in for, a little bit about what they've done, only a tiny bit. Now there's another system where you log on and it tells you absolutely everything from the beginning to the end of what they did.
Really?
Yeah. It's in detail as well. And
What's some of the maddest stories you've read?
the maddest stories.
You must have sat there one day and just read.
Of course, yeah, curiosity.
When you're bored as well.
Yeah, when everyone's locked up, you know, you have a little look. I've read a couple. There was one. He was living in a caravan. Okay. He was a traveller, and 3 guys. There was something going on with them. There was an argument, etc., etc. Yeah. 3 guys turned up, and he came out with a shotgun, no talking, bang, 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 gone.
Killed all three.
Yeah. He was in there for, I think he told me, he was serving 45 years and he's already done 20, but he's got another, I think he's got another 15 left to go until we can get parole. But I thought he's not going to get that parole because after spending 20 years in prison, he did go a little bit.
Did he?
110%.
In what sense? What did you experience?
Everyone was wary of him. He would speak to himself. Okay, he would go on the yard. He would be a loner. He had no mates in there. And if you open the door in the morning to get him up, if he was laying in bed still, you leave him. Don't even bother saying, "Come on, mate, you got to get up." Leave him, because I made that mistake.
Really? What?
Yeah, and he got up and he said, "Well, he went mad. You know, get out before I slice you and all this." And you have to learn them things. Yeah. No one told me, but you have to learn them.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, you open his door. If he's not up and it's still black in there, you shut that door back up. He's not in the right frame of mind to go to work. There was another one. This one's actually quite disturbing. It was to do with a paedophile. And he basically sexually assaulted his grandkids.
What a trump.
Dirty bastard. And obviously I won't go into it because it's absolutely disgusting. But you can imagine, it was from detailed. I got halfway and I was like, nah, what am I reading this for? This is disgusting. Dirty bastard.
So how do you as a prison guard go in there, look at him in his face and not want to smash the living trolley out of him?
I actually worked on the VP wing.
What's that?
Vulnerable prisoner. And I think that's a mistake because they're all nonces or rapists.
Oh, for real? They put you on that wing?
And they're called vulnerable prisoners.
Fucking run. I'm not going to comment.
So I worked on that wing for a bit, and you had to have control because.
How long ago did you stop working there?
About 3 years ago now.
Okay, carry on. You had to have control.
If it was one of them for me, I begrudged doing anything for them. They'd come up to me, "Gov, can you do this for me?" And you'd look at them, and really you'd want to go, "No, why don't you f*** off, you dirty nonce," But you can't. You can't. You have to literally keep it in. Yeah, of course I can. Okay? 9 times out of 10, I'd make an excuse and go, "Oh, I can't at the moment. I've got to do this first." But there are occasions where you have to, and you go, because if you keep on doing it, then
they're gonna realise.
They're gonna report you and all that. But it's hard. It is hard, honestly. There was one officer in there, and he didn't care. He was close to retirement, and he worked on the VP wing. And every time he had an argument with one of them, he'd go, "Oh, go away, you dirty nonce," to their face. Obviously, they didn't like it, so they'd kick up a fuss. But it got to a point for him. He was close to retirement. He's been there for 30 years already. Okay. He don't give a shit. So that was quite funny. But
did you meet any not guilty people in there that you genuinely thought at the bottom of your heart, this guy's not guilty, he shouldn't be in there?
Yeah, I believe that there are some innocent people in there.
Yeah, of course. Listen, 100% there's innocent people in there. We can both say that's standard.
Yeah,
100%. There's loads. There's plenty.
Definitely.
Plenty of people in there, especially in the remand centre. You just go there because they believe you've done it.
Yeah.
Not because you have. You ain't even convicted yet.
No.
It's just your trial's in 6 months off to prison.
There was one guy. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and basically it was a robbery gone wrong. Now it was his mates that did the robbery, and he was close by, and he got tricked into picking them up.
See, things like that, do you believe them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They did turn against him, so it could be a lie. It could be a lie. High possibility.
How long was he in for? How long was he serving?
So he got away with it. He got off, and the others got 20 years.
So why is he inside?
Because he was, like you said, he was...
remand, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
The other's got 20 years. Ooh.
But he was pleading, even on the wing, he was like, I don't know what I'm in here for. Like, this is ridiculous. Like,
Fair enough.
And they all fell out, but he got away with it, and the others got 20 years. And just think, oh, mate.
What's the longest sentence you've been seen in there?
Probably that guy I told you about with the shotgun.
Really?
45 years. Yeah.
That's
That would send anyone insane. Anyone. I've always said to people, so people ask me questions, okay, on TikTok, and they say, do you think prison is actually a punishment? Now, for me personally, I think it is, for the reason that you may go in there and handle yourself physically with people, but to then be locked in a cell 22 hours a day for how many ever years, that's mentally going to mess you up.
You're locked in for that long?
If you don't work or you don't go to class, then yeah, it's 22 hours a day you're locked up. So going to
So
work.
free roam is only 2 hours?
So yeah, association is an hour and a half playing, it might be an hour playing pool and having a shower and making phone calls and doing what you want to do. And then half hour is on the yard. And then after that, if you don't go to work or anything, you're banged up. So it's a long...
Just you and your cellmate?
Yeah.
And what do you have what's inside your cell?
There's a double cell and there's a single cell. So a double cell is a bunk bed. And they're only metal, proper flimsy metal beds, uncomfortable. The mattresses are like that thin. They're not even mattresses. They're like, do you know the gymnastic mats and all? They're like that. It's dingy. It's cold. It's damp. And we're talking about like most prisons are like old listed buildings.
Yeah.
So there's not even proper windows there or anything like that. It's horrible. It's horrible, mate. It's terrible. You're sitting down having it in front of someone. Okay, you've done your crime. You've got to do it. You've got no choice. But
yeah, that would get me.
That'd
do me, mate. That'd do me more than anything. And what about the single cells? How would someone get a single cell?
If they're high risk, basically.
And how would you become high risk?
So if you're a murderer,
Okay.
or you go in there and you're got severe mental health.
So
as well.
I had a friend who served his time.
Yeah.
And he said to me, Mike, he's been in prison multiple times. He goes, Mike, whenever I go to prison, I go in single cell. I said, how'd you do that? He goes, I sit in my cell with the guy. I ring the buzzer. He comes over. And I tell him straight, get me out of this cell, otherwise I'm going to kill him now. Look him dead in his face. I will slit his throat and I'll kill him now if you don't get me out of here. He goes, and they have to. He goes, or the other one is telling you hear voices. He goes, sit in the corner and tell me you hear voices and it's making you want to go do something to someone. He goes, they'll ping you straight into a single cell.
That's what I mean, yeah. But do you know what happens? So if someone said that in the prison, right, in their cell, and they're sharing with someone, and they said, if you don't get me out of this cell, I'm going to kill him, they wouldn't get you out straight away. They would go, well, that's tough. You've got to, literally, because you could be blagging, you know, and officers...
Well, they're going to wait till you do him in? No.
Yeah, you wouldn't... Again, it's manipulation, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they'd go, well, that's tough.
Yeah, but all jokes aside, I don't think, even if, like, touch wood, I don't, but I'm not sure I'd want a single cell.
No, I would.
Really? But
Yeah.
20, do you know what it is? Like 22 hours in
You
your own
don't get
thoughts.
a choice who you're standing with, so you don't know.
That's the problem. If I could pick, then it's different. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? If I could pick my mate, God forbid, like, but if you know someone in there, you meet them on the thing, cool, yeah. But if it's just a weirdo, but then again, sitting in a room by yourself for 22 hours a day, that's a long time alone.
Yeah, and you only get 5 channels as well. You get a TV in there.
That's what they say, man. Stop talking shit, mate. I've seen PlayStations. I've seen a lot in there. I've seen a lot.
They do get PlayStations in
How
there.
do they get PlayStation? What, they're allowed?
Yeah, so it's all to do. So there's basic, standard, and enhanced. When you go in, you should be on basic.
Yeah.
But most of the time, you get put on standard straight away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you get a TV. So you work your way up to enhanced. Once you work your way up to enhanced, you can get your PlayStation. You can wear the clothes that you want to, you know, Armani trainers and, you know, Armani tracksuits and Nike tracksuits or whatever you want to wear. Some people agree with it, some people don't. But that's the system.
And what do you get in enhanced? What are you allowed?
So the prison I worked at, you get more visits, okay? And when you go on a visit, it's an enhanced visit. So you're sitting around a little table with comfy chairs right next to your partner, and you know you're just chatting away, and you can touch and not. The basic visits are a table the size as this, and there's a thing in the middle like a ping pong table.
Like the COVID things.
Yes.
Okay.
And again, you're at a distance, you can't touch, and that's a basic visit.
And standard?
Standard, the same thing, a smaller table with no thing in between, but you're still out of a sort of distance, and you can't touch. Yeah, so everyone, say everyone.
Everyone wants enhanced.
Yeah, of course they do.
Did you experience any people, any like big, not big bosses in prison, but any big boys that the prison guards were like, yeah, don't fuck with that one?
Yeah, definitely. It's normally the old school guys.
Really, they have a pool in prison.
They
got a pool in prison.
Yeah, there's a respect there. Okay, so I did a story on TikTok. Someone asked me, "Is there a leader on the wing? Is there like the big dog on the wing?" And there's not so much a leader or a big dog, but there's that respect that other prisoners look at these old school ones or prisoners that can half handle themselves and go, let's not fuck with them. It's not worth it, So I'll give you an example. So there was one day, someone wouldn't go in his cell.
Yeah.
Okay. And I said, come on, I'm talking to him. Come on, mate. Don't stop about getting your cell. But after 10 minutes, he got in his cell. Now I went to one of these guys.
The big boys, yeah?
Yep. And he knew him, sort of thing. And I said, do me a favour. He said, can you just have a word with him? Because it's taking 10 minutes getting his cell and he's doing this and he's doing that. And he went, leave it with me, mate. Because we had that respect.
Yeah.
And
you respect me, I respect you.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And the next day...
You asked him went straight in.
It was fine. Yeah.
Do you know what it is? I think it comes down to a few simple things. At the end of the day, it's not your fault they're there. And if you're making their life easier... I think early in your stage in your sentence, everyone's a bit reckless. Everyone's just a bit more, I got a point to prove. This is just me from interviewing people. But I think once you're in there over a year, let's say you got 5 years, you're not leaving.
That's it.
It's, mate, let me make my life as easy as possible. You be sweet to me, I'll be sweet to you. Let's have a good day here.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it comes down to. And I think that makes prison different. That is where it actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Where it changes people?
Rehabilitation.
Correct, that word. Where it actually rehabilitates people. Because if you're going in there and you're trying to bring out his angry side, when he gets out of prison, he's automatically going to hate all form of police or anything.
Definitely.
Whereas if you've been nice to him, you think, you know what, fair enough, prison ain't that bad, but I don't want to go back.
No.
Whereas I think prison guards do it wrong half the time. They're in there trying to show him that I'm the man. You come around here, watch what we do. That guy is a gangster. Yeah. He's in there for a reason.
Yeah.
If you weren't in that uniform, he'll light you up.
Yeah, of course he would.
Yeah, show him respect. He's human. The nonsense in that I don't agree with. I can't talk for them.
Of course.
Because I think that's mental illness. But if you've got a geezer in there who's shooting 3 people, mate, don't f*** with him.
No.
Don't f***
I
with
agree,
him.
mate. I agree.
Don't f*** with him.
And this is where officers go wrong. They put that uniform on and they think they're invincible, not realising that, like you said, if they wanted to, they could. Okay, but they're making their life easier. They're not going to be dealing with you. They can't be bothered. Okay, but what you've also got to remember is bumping into them on the outside as well.
It will happen.
You're never protected forever. Just because you've got that uniform, one day you might bump into them. So
you seem like one of the good ones. Yeah, one of the guys who understand the role of a prison officer, and you went there to genuinely make a change.
Of course.
So why'd you have 3 fights? So
there was. So I'll tell you all 3 instances. So one of them, there was an officer. He'll hear this and he'll laugh. We used to look. We look alike.
Okay.
Okay. So he didn't get on with this prisoner.
Yep.
And I remember him coming up to me saying, "Oh, so and so, yeah, he said he's going to knock me out." And I'm like, "Well,
what'd you do?"
Exactly. What did you do, mate? No, I didn't do anything. All right, cool. Well, one day, I'm transferring a few prisoners to a different wing, right? And as I'm doing that, another officer is transferring a couple of prisoners to a different wing, okay? And in with them prisoners was that guy who didn't get on with one of the officers that we look alike, okay? I got mistaken for the guy that I look alike, and he attacked me. So that was a bit of a shock for me because I'm thinking, never seen you before. You're coming at me what's going on. So I've had to obviously fight back.
What do you mean by he attacked you? What happened?
He come running at me. He see me thinking I was him, the other officer, and there was no mercy. He come running at me.
And what'd you do?
Well, I've had to, defend myself.
Yeah, and what happened?
We had a scrap on the floor. The other officer jumped in. The alarm bells went, and that was
Who
that.
won?
He got restrained. Well,
Who
he got
won the-
restrained. So
Pissed.
the second one was he wanted his gym gloves from reception.
Gym glove, okay, yeah.
Okay, and to be fair, he kept asking officers, "I need my gym gloves for about 4 weeks," and they went, "We'll get them, but not yet."
4 weeks?
4 weeks.
That's taking a out of
Of
it.
course it is. Of course it is. Even though, I'm not going to lie, this prisoner was a dick. It's still not on though, is it?
Yeah, listen.
Now, if you want him to behave or you want
Ease
to get
up.
on with him, you've got to... It works both ways, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I remember he pressed his bell once and he said, "Look, I've got gym this afternoon and I've not got my gloves. Can you go and get them?" He went, "Please." So I went, "Cool. I'll go and get them on my lunch break." Okay? And that's exactly what I did.
And how hard is it for you to go get them? Is it easy?
It's easy, but officers are busy. So number one, they are busy. They've got, imagine, another 100 prisoners on the wing asking them to do something.
Yeah.
But it's also laziness as well.
Yeah.
Because, even though your lunch break is your lunch break,
Just go and do it.
just go and do it. It takes 10 minutes.
And make him happy.
Exactly.
So
So
and now you've got someone who's got your back as well.
Yeah. So I did that. I got his gloves. The gym screws were coming round to collect all these prisoners. And I said to him, "Here, mate," I said, "there's your gloves." And with that, he said, "Right, you can fuck off now." And you just think,
Mate, come on.
I've just helped you out here. Like, what are you doing? So I said, "Oh, mate, you're so ungrateful. Like, whatever." Anyway, he came out and he squared up to me. So I thought, I'm not going to fight you.
Yeah.
I'll do something else. And some people may agree with it, some people may not. But I went up to the gym screws and I said, "He's not going." I said, "Because he's just done this, that and that." I said, "He's not going." Now he's found out.
And how? What do you mean? So what do they do? What do they do? Go up to him and say, "You're not coming."
Yeah.
Raw, you're not coming.
You're not coming because you've just had an incident with an officer.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So he's found out. They've told him,
Yeah.
"You're not coming." Now he's gunning for me. He's looking for me.
He's just got his gloves as well.
That's
He's
it.
ready.
That's it. And that was it. He's jumped on me. We've had a roll about on the floor, and in the end, he's been restrained. But I didn't want to act like a dick.
Yeah.
Okay, that's simple. But sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
You do have to sometimes because I've got his gloves, and he said,
All he had to say was thank you.
"There we go.
He could have turned and gone, mate, what, mate? Out of the lot, you're the only one who's helped me. Appreciate you.
There we go." But yeah, I thought, "Do you know what? I'm not taking this," and it happened. And the third time was this was quite scary for me. If a prison officer ever says to anyone, "I'm never scared on the wing. I'm never scared. Yeah, I'm never scared in an incident. I'm never scared of prisoners," you are lying. You are lying. Don't tell me that you've never been shook before or wary of someone or anything like that. Especially if you're in a scrap with someone.
At the
Because
end of the day, they're criminals for a reason. They're in there for a reason.
that's it. So one day I was in the office and I'm writing a report and an officer comes in and he goes, "You need to come and help on the wing." So I've left. He's run off back onto the wing. I've walked on there because I don't know what's going on. It's association. Everyone's out. And I'm looking through the window, through the wing, and everyone's playing pool. And
So it looks all right.
yeah. I'm thinking, "Oh, all right." So I've walked on and he's restraining with another officer a prisoner on the floor. Okay. And I'm thinking, right, that's under control. All I've got to do now is get these other prisoners back because for their safety.
Yeah.
Okay. On the floor. So I've stood in front and they're getting closer and they're shouting at the prisoners the prison officers on the floor. And I said, "Come on, boys." I said, "Come on, get back, get back." I pressed the alarm bell, not knowing that it's not working. Okay. So
That's why he's come in and told you, innit?
yeah, but I didn't know this. So I pressed the alarm bell and I've gone, "Right, come on, guys, get back, get back." And with that, someone sucker punched me. And I've shook it off and I've looked at him and I've given him a crack. Okay, you have to. In that situation, I don't want to be doing that, but you have to.
Yeah.
So I've given him a crack, but because I've given him a crack,
That's it.
another prisoner wants to go at me. So he's had a crack at me as well. And I'm thinking, I'll be fighting everyone now. Yeah. So I've had to give him a crack back. And then once again, for the third time, another one has punched me and run off. Right? So now I'm thinking, no, I've got you in my vision. Now my adrenaline's
now you're
up.
in. You're
that's
in.
it. That's it. And I've chased this prisoner and I've got him on the floor and I'm restraining him. But what I didn't know, well, and this is how dangerous it is, because it was on association, that another prisoner come behind me with a pool cue and went to whack it over me. But another prisoner, who I got on with, stopped him. I said, don't be doing that. It's a one-on-one. Don't be doing it, you know. But once again, while this is going on, the alarm bells are not working, officers are not coming, and it went on for 5-10 minutes. So it got to a point where I've restrained this officer, all the prisoners around me. The prisoner, sorry. Everyone's around me, and I'm thinking, I'm in trouble.
At any given moment, if they want to go, you're gone, mate.
I'm in trouble here. So I've had to radio and say, we're the officers, we're on this wing, blah, 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 and with that they've all come. But it was only towards the end that I found out that the alarm bells weren't working. But yeah, wow. It's a dangerous place. It's a different world. It really is.
So what are you allowed on there? You're not allowed no weapons, are you?
As an officer?
Yeah.
You've got your baton.
Okay.
Now, I think they have pava spray now.
What's that?
It's like pepper spray, you know.
What's pava spray? What's the difference? Same.
I think it is the same stuff, to be honest with you. You know, if you get it in your eyes, you're temporarily blind and it stings, etc. But again, I think people are going to be scared to use that because that is classed as a firearm. Now, if you use that wrongly,
you've got to have justified reasons why you use that.
Exactly that.
And the baton, what's the terms and conditions on using that?
If a prisoner has got a weapon and you have to get yours out, a baton.
What if he punches you? Can you hit him with a baton?
No. I mean, if he punches you, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you'd shoot him back.
Yeah, that's it. It's a fist on fist then, isn't it? But yeah, if he was coming towards you and he had a weapon, you get your baton out, flick it, and it's, you know, fair then. But I've never pulled out my baton.
Ever?
Never.
Serious?
Never, ever, ever.
And the guys who come in with like the riot shields and all that.
Yeah, they're the nationals.
So what's that about? Is that if there's like a riot in a prison?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you ever experience that?
Nearly. There was a little riot on the wing where I was working.
Yeah.
And it went off. So the alarm bell was called. All officers come on. So there was prisoners against prisoners, first of all. And when the officers come on...
How many officers are there?
In the whole prison?
Like if something like that happens, how many turn up?
So let's just say there's 8 wings. And on each wing, there should be at least 5 or 6, okay? Now, there should always be 1 or 2, when the alarm bell goes off, staying on that wing.
So you've got about 3, 4.
Yeah, so there should be about 30 plus officers. There should be coming to an incident. Help. Yeah. So it was prisoners on prisoners, first of all. The alarm bell went. Officers come running, 30 plus officers. And then they turned on the officers. So it was prisoner versus officers. There was female officers getting whacked left, right and centre, being floored. Right. And fortunately, it was calmed down. It was taken control of. But if that didn't, we'd all have to retreat, lock the wing, and then call the nationals.
And how long did the nationals take to come?
They could take an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours to arrive because they come from all over the country.
Oh, so they actually all team up and come down.
That's it, and they're the big boys. You don't want to mess with them.
Oh, really? Yeah,
they've got flashbangs. They've got they've got the rubber
bullets.
Yeah. They've got all the equipment you can think of. They look like
SWAT.
Yeah, they literally look like that. And they're big guys as well. They're big guys. And I'll tell you an incident. So there was a prisoner. Everyone was locked away, and he said, "I'm not locking away until I get a vape." Yeah. So he ran up to the top floor. He got onto the railings. Now there was no netting in the middle of the railings. Okay.
Why?
exactly.
Yeah.
So he got over the railings on the other side, and he said, "Get me a vape, otherwise I'm not coming down." Now, he was there for 2 or 3 hours. Okay, it got to a point where we were like, "We're not taking this no more. We've got to call the Nationals." So the Nationals come.
Oh, they actually come.
Yeah, they came, and it was brilliant. Like, they don't mess about. So we, as an officer, we're not allowed to touch that prisoner. We can't push them off. We can't drag them over the railings at all.
You're not allowed. If their life's in danger, you can't do that.
We can't do that. No,
But the Nationals can do what they want.
they can do what they want, and that's exactly what they did. So they came in, all kitted up.
How many of them?
There was only 3 or 4 of them.
That's enough, though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, for a little incident like that. And there was 2 downstairs, and they brought in this big crash mat, and they put it under him. And he said, "Why are you having that for? I'm not getting down."
Yeah, don't worry about
And
that.
so they weren't, they didn't speak to him. Another 2 came up, and they got probably to this distance. And they said, "Are you getting down?" And he said, "No." He said, "Well, one way or another, we're getting you down. If you want to come off at your own, do it now." He laughed. He said, "You're not getting me off." I don't think he realised that they don't mess about.
Yeah.
And with that, he walked over to him and he said, "I'm going to give you one more chance. Are you getting off?" The second he said no,
Ping.
bang, straight off onto the crash mat. He was shocked. They restrained him, and that was it. So they don't muck about. They don't care if you get injured.
No. It's their job to come and tell you, like, chill out, guys. Don't over push it.
Yeah.
And when the Nationals walk in, does the whole wing itself a little bit?
They do, yeah. Everyone starts banging on the door because they know what's going to happen. They don't mess about.
Okay.
So all the prisoners get excited, way banging on the door and all that.
So regarding the female prison officers,
Yeah,
you see any corruption with them?
yeah, most definitely.
Like, do they get off with guys?
Yeah, relationships.
Swear to God.
Yeah. There was a couple, while I was working there, a couple got investigated to a point where they were in the wrong and they left the service because of it.
A couple was in left.
As in, like...
a couple of people, 2 people.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So what they do, so there was one, and when she worked nights, she would get this prisoner out and take him into the office, basically, and do what they do in there. But there's cameras about. There's prisoners that see this as well. So it's a bit stupid, isn't it? And after a few weeks, they got grassed up.
Because you know these other prisoners are getting jealous as well.
Exactly that.
They ain't
Exactly
seen no
that.
women action in ages. They're
Nah.
thinking, what about me?
But it happens. It does happen. There was another officer that kept taking a prisoner to the laundry at night, pretending to get sheets and pillows and all that. And they was having a bunk up in there. So again, there's cameras about.
So can they see it on the cameras?
Yeah.
So where is there any blind spots?
I'm guessing there would be some blind spots somewhere, but most of the time you're on camera.
So even when they was in the office doing you know what?
Oh, in the office.
Yeah.
In the office, there's no cameras in the office.
Oh, so they were having a good time
Yeah, but then there's cameras.
walking into the office.
There we go. So what else would they be doing? He's not washing up, is he?
Yeah, true. True. That is mad though, isn't it? When you think of it like that.
It's
And
crazy.
regarding bringing in drugs and phones, etc. Talk to us about that a little bit. Did you get any offers?
I got asked all the time,
How much
You
they
know,
offering?
Gov, can you bring a phone in? I'll give you $1,000. Yeah. It's not worth it. It's really not worth it. If I get that, let's just say I said yeah, and I brung an iPhone in, and they give me $1,000, and then I get caught, I could potentially go to jail, and I've lost my annual salary for $1,000.
And the problem you got then as well is if you bring it in once, you got to keep bringing it in.
It's exactly that.
That's it. You
Exactly.
bring it in
They've got
once,
you then.
but
They've
that's
got you.
it.
They've got you by the balls. If you say I'm not doing it no more,
You got to leave job basically.
yeah, they will grass you up. They will grass you up. And this is the strange thing. They don't like grasses in there,
Yeah.
prisoners, but they will happily grass you up if you say no or do something wrong. So, yeah, you've got no chance. If you are manipulated in doing something, and there's probably many reasons of getting manipulated, you're in trouble. That's it.
Tell us a little bit more about the corruption in there. What other things really put you off inside? If you could tell me one thing that needs to change in prison, what would it be?
I'd say the search. There's loads to change in prison. There really is. From the really important things like the mental health facilities, there should be more mental health for the prisoners. There should be more healthcare staff for the prisoners.
Yeah.
But there's also things like searching. So believe it or not, when officers go in to the establishment, they don't get searched. They don't go through.
So you could literally walk in with a kilo of coke in your pocket.
Walking with anything you want. You're walking with a gun if you want.
Nah.
Yeah.
You're joking. They don't search you.
They don't search you. So they do. When I worked there, it might have changed now, but when I worked there, and it weren't long ago, 3 years ago,
Yeah, it's nothing.
You know, when I worked there, sometimes it was a random search.
And would you know that search is coming, really?
No.
Oh, you wouldn't actually
No, you wouldn't
it.
know. You wouldn't know. But it's not enough, though, is it?
Nah. It should be every day. You must walk through metal detectors every day, I reckon. And walk through. They should wand you down every day. Well, just in case. How do you expect?
But their excuse is we're understaffed. We can't have people manning that doing searches all day, every day.
Well, it makes your life easier if you do.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Drugs, you're going to stop the phones. You're going to stop it all. But let me ask you a question. If you see a prisoner in there with a phone, do you take his phone?
Yeah, you do. You'd have to.
Have you?
I have, yeah.
Have you let some slide?
No comment.
Fair enough. But I'll answer that question for you then. And I know friends who have gone to prison, and they've said to me, Mikey, sometimes you find an officer and it's not worth it because they know we're going to bring one in again. So sometimes they just say, you know what, mate, just don't let anyone else see it.
Yeah.
It's not worth the ag.
It happens.
But prison is, I think, from what I've experienced, at the end of the day, I interview ex-criminals all day long on my show. And everyone says one thing. It's not that bad. That's one thing that all my guests say, Mikey, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. And fair enough, I don't expect prison to be hell on earth. It shouldn't be. But they don't say it changed me. No one ever says that. Everyone always says, yeah, it was a blessing in disguise that I went, it kept me away from the streets. But that's not the right answer. It should be, yeah, you know what, it weren't worth it. But I think that comes all the way down to sentencing. I think carrying a knife should be life sentence. Done, that's it.
Yeah,
life sentence.
I agree.
Murder, life. It doesn't even need to be a trial. Life sentence, done. See you later, mate.
Yeah.
Carrying a knife, carrying a gun, anything above like that, lifed off. Drug dealing, you get caught with drugs, life. Mm-hmm. All of it will stop.
So this is the thing. You're totally right there.
It will all stop.
I agree, because I spoke to a couple of prisoners, obviously in prison. What are you in for? Oh, I got caught with, I don't know, 20 grand's worth of coke. Okay, I've only got, I don't know, 5 years, 6 years. Okay, are you going to do it again when you get out? Yeah, I'll only serve 3 years. Of course I'm going to do it again. It's good money, They have that mentality as well. Because they only serve 3 years out of 6, of course they're going to do it again.
If they turn, look at Dubai. Yeah, you don't get none of that over there, mate. No one's carrying knives over there. No one's walking around thinking they're Jack the Lad over there because they know you're not making it out alive. They'll put you in prison. And over in Dubai, they don't actually have a over here we have a rough sentencing. So if you're carrying a gun, it's 9 years plus a year for every bullet.
Yeah.
Over in Dubai, it's no such thing. It's whatever the judge decides, that's what you get.
Really?
Yeah, raw. So if you walk in and you've carried a gun and you shot a kid, yeah, you're gone. You're getting death penalty. You'll see you later, mate.
So is there much crime over there?
None.
See, that just says it all, doesn't it?
So the government know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know how to stop it. If they turn around and said, guys, that's it. 25 years to life if you carry a knife.
Yeah.
Knife crime will stop like that.
Yeah, of course.
Like instant. You're getting people with these zombie knives. You've seen them?
They're
legal.
They're legal.
They're legal. Not illegal. They're legal.
What, in the UK?
In the UK, it was a thing. I'll put the video here. Jack, put the video now. There's a thing that says, and it says, if it don't say zombie killer on it, it's just a normal knife.
Yeah.
You can order one off Amazon. It will come next day.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
And it's legal.
It's not legal to walk out and stab someone with it.
No, of course.
But you can order it and have it to your house.
Yeah, that's
legally.
mad. That's mad.
Because it's a showpiece.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Even people ordering it, that kind of knife, what the f*** do you need it for?
Exactly. Well, they're probably taking it out with them, aren't they?
Obviously.
That's it.
But what more do you need a knife like that for? What are you going to do? If you're getting to cut meat with a fucking big Rambo.
That's
like,
it.
Do you know what I mean? But it all comes down to even like something so stupid. The country is made on people committing crime. That's how they earn their money.
Yeah.
Why does my car go 150 miles an hour if I can only go 70?
Yeah.
Why? Because they're going to make money on my tickets.
Of course, you're
they're
bang
gonna,
on.
they're gonna, it's when you come out of the circle and you think, like the car thing, I can't get over that. When you actually think about, there isn't a road in the UK my car can go over 70. There ain't.
Yeah.
Speed limit still.
Yeah.
Why can my car do 150?
I've never, ever thought about that. Never.
I genuinely tell me the answer to that. Why?
The only answer I can think is they earn money, like you said.
They want
That's
speeding
mad.
tickets.
I've never thought about that. You're bang on.
They want speeding tickets. They want it all. They want the money. Why
Of
do you
course.
think every single day there's a new law about this, about that? It makes no sense no more. Same thing to prison. If you really wanted that crime to stop, if you really wanted it to stop, you say 25 to life, end of.
Yeah.
What, are you going to feel sorry for the geezer? He stabbed someone and taken someone's life. He's getting 15 years.
Yeah.
What? If it was up to me, it'd be life for a life. Genuinely, if it was me, you take someone's life, we take your life. That's genuinely what I think it should be.
Yeah.
Unless there's like a valid reason he hurt my mum or something, then fair enough. But drug dealing, that one makes no sense to me. You're letting people go in for 2 years for getting caught with X amount of cocaine.
Yeah.
Do you really expect him not to do it again?
Of course he's going to do it again.
He's just made £500,000 that year and he spent 2 years inside. He's coming out. He's still got 200 grand under his bed. He's going to go straight back to work.
Of course he is. There's not the consequence is not harsh enough, is it?
It never is.
And it's to them, it's easy money. Why would I get a 9-to-5 job when I can get out of here and within a month or two earn a lot more than a 9-to-5 job in a year? Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, you know what we'll do is I'll ask the comments, yeah? Would you go prison for 500 grand for 1 year? Would you?
And you only spend a year in there?
Yeah.
And you get that 500 grand definitely?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So why don't you go start selling drugs? Get caught in a year. You might last longer. It makes no sense. It's so easy. Everyone would. For 500 grand, people make more. People get caught after 10 years. They make 3, 4, 5 million quid.
Yeah.
If they're big boys at it, do you know what I mean? And half of them get 2, 3 years. They're like, all right, that's a 3-year sentence. You're doing 15 months.
Well, it all comes down to... We're getting into it now. It all comes down to the government, like you said, being corrupt. You know, making money out of it. They don't care other than money, do they?
Yeah, not 100%.
So, yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy.
I had a big cocaine dealer on my show.
Yeah.
He was smuggling cocaine in. And he said, he goes, Mikey, the police bring the cocaine in. He goes, the police, the governments bring the cocaine in. He goes, they're physically not doing the shipment. No, he goes, but at the port, when they see it land, they're working with someone. They say, yeah, sweet, give me a backhander, mate.
Yeah.
Like, there's been cases where I've done podcasts with people and police have walked in their house and caught £500,000. That don't get put in evidence.
Yeah. No, of course.
But what's the criminal going to say?
Yeah.
No, but my £500,000. Oh, yeah, go on, let's up that sentence a little bit,
Yeah.
mate. For now money laundering, now this, now that. You rather just shut up, let the policeman take that money and... I
That's
think...
it. It's
How,
madness, isn't it?
how do you think it changes?
Well, it won't change, will it?
It can't change in my eyes.
No, it will never change. It will never change. There's been many opportunities for it to change, years for it to change, and it won't change. It's as simple as that. You just change the sentence. Simple as that. But it's not. So it will never, ever change. Never change.
I think even knife crimes are at an all-time high at the minute. So an all-time... Like, even my little brother, he goes out and he's 16 years old. When I was 16 years old, I was on the street every single day. I was the mechanic of my area.
Yeah.
You had a BMX. I never knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
Brakes, there was a problem with the brakes. Bring it to my garage. They comes round my mum's ass, flip the bike upside down. I sit... From the age of 30, younger, I was out at about 11, getting home at 9 o'clock at night. My mum didn't even ask where I was. She knew it was safe. Go on, son. Go on. I was brought up in a ghetto. Now, like, if my brother's out after 9 o'clock, I start worrying as his older brother, thinking, fuck me, man, he's got a Canada Goose jacket. God forbid someone stabs him for it. Or he's got an iPhone. Oh, my God, he's got an iPhone. Do you know what I mean? Now, knife crime is... People are carrying it.
It's a different generation now, though, isn't it? Different generation. There's no respect. The youngsters have got no respect, no remorse, no regret. They don't care. They don't. And they're the dangerous ones.
My younger brother phoned me up the other day. I'm in trouble with this boy. I said, what do you do? He goes, I asked him what he's looking at. So what'd you do that for?
Yeah.
Is he older than you? He goes, yeah. I said, shut your mouth then. You got someone older than you and you turn around and say, what are you looking at? He has to. His obligation as a man, if he's with his boys, he has to turn around to you and slap you.
Yeah.
He has to.
Yeah.
He can't not. Otherwise, he's going to get bullied by his boys. But the younger generation, that was a nail on the head. They got no respect. None. They look at older people and think, what, man? What? Did you see the video on TikTok where the guy was in the chicken shop with his girlfriend?
Yes.
Did you see them knives?
That's mad.
Like,
they have like this
swords.
Yeah.
Like proper Rambo knives.
Yeah, mad.
If that touches you, you're dead.
Of course.
You're not. It's not going to be a little scratch. You're gone for life. And because none of them actually hurt each other, they'd probably get a slap on the wrist.
But this is the thing. They don't even think about the consequences either, do they?
Because it's so little, though. That's the problem. Because it's so minor nowadays. What are you going to do? Get 6 months inside? You're going to get a year. Do half. All right.
Yeah. But even the ones that get 15 years.
Yeah. You got young boys, man. Young 18-year-old boys.
18. The age of 18.
15 years.
What are you in for, mate? Why are you here? I've killed someone. I've stabbed someone. What? Do you regret it? No, not really. He had it coming to him. Or, no, he's from a different postcode. That don't make sense to me.
Nah.
That's crazy. What can you say to that? Oh, you
I feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
You look at him and
it's
think, you
madness.
silly f***ing little boy. You're so caught up on this postcode. Damn. I'm not dying for no postcode. I don't give a what area I'm from. I'm not dying for no postcode.
And do you know what another thing is as well? Some of them like going to prison because it's glamorised.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I've been in prison and what? And I've done this and what?
They get more street cred.
Yeah, it's crazy though. It's crazy. In my eyes, you're a dumb going to prison
It means you got caught.
That's it. And listen, I think most ex-prisoners will agree with me because the ex-prisoners I've spoke to, they've sorted their lives out. There's 3 guys, the ex-con chronicles.
Lou.
That's it.
Lewis was a guest.
Richard and Frank.
Okay, so Frank was meant to come on the show. I didn't get him. Lewis was a guest. Lewis is still to today. Lewis, if you're watching this, still one of my favourite guests.
They're brilliant. Yeah. They're absolutely brilliant, and they've done some serious crime as well. Yeah. Okay, they was involved in things, and they've come out and they've been honest. They've even said, "You've got to be dumb. Like, what are you doing?" Like Frank, I remember he sent me a clip of, a story saying you might think it's good being sat round the table, being the don, with all this money and all that, all the power, but before you know it, you're on the run. You've got people kicking down your family's doors. You're ruining people's lives for what?
Yeah.
And I've got the greatest respect for them 3, most definitely. They've come out and they've changed their lives and they're giving advice out to people and they're telling their stories and they're saying, don't do it. It's pointless. Yeah. And that's what it should be like. People should be coming out.
Well, look, at the end of the day, I've filmed with over 70 guests. Yeah. And I'd say 90% of criminals, ex-criminals, and every single one of them says the same thing. It ain't worth it.
No.
It ain't worth it. It's not worth it.
Do you find, though, they're the older guys?
All of them. Yeah. I film with older boys.
Yeah.
I film with a few youngsters and they're still...
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah. And I look at them and I think, you're going to go back.
Yeah.
You're going to go back inside. Whereas I film with real gangsters.
Yeah.
Shout out to a guy called Ghost, yeah? One of my favourite guests ever. When I mean he is a genuine man... He has done. They used to call him a sledgehammer. He used to walk around. He threw a double-barrel shotgun out his window and knocked a policeman out by accident. Yeah. Like he was a gangster. Yeah. Through and through. He used to shoot. He says in his podcast, he goes, "But I didn't regret it. I don't regret shooting him. I used to come home and party." And he comes on and he sits there. We talk to him, and he goes, "But it's not worth it, man." He goes, "Not worth it. What for?"
Nah.
It's not worth it. And you look at people and you can say, you know what, man, you've really changed your life around. And sometimes prison's good for you. Sometimes you can look at someone and all they need is that little break. And I'd say 99% of the time, they turn around and I say, what changed me? And he goes, the person I met in prison. Not prison. I met someone who changed me. And I think prison's good in that sense. You can meet good people.
Yeah.
And it's a networking centre. But then again, you can meet very naughty people and come out way naughtier.
Most definitely. You're getting connections, aren't you?
Of course. Network centre.
Yeah.
It's the biggest criminal network centre in the world.
Of course it is.
Any prison you go to, isn't there, full of people doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And
do you know selling drugs in prison
big money, man,
is bigger money than selling it on the outside?
Of course, big bread inside, big dollar inside. How much? Do you know the prices inside?
I don't know the prices. I don't. I know it's a lot. I know it's a hell of a lot. But it's rife, and you wonder why a prison is rife with drugs.
I've heard stories of people going to prison to sell drugs in prison. They go into prison to sell drugs.
Yeah, that's how big it is. It's crazy. And then they obviously, and this is how officers get manipulated or corrupt. Yeah. They're greedy. They think of the money, or whatever other reason, and they bring it in from.
There was I had a guy there. He said I got offered 15 grand a month. Like, for a guy who works a normal job, I don't know how much prison officers make. Let's say they're 3-4 grand a month. I don't know.
Listen, it's not much. It's when I worked there, 32 grand a year for what you.
So what's that monthly?
Monthly
2.5.
It's just clearing about 2.
Okay, so 2 grand a month. Yeah, if you're offering that guy 10 times his monthly salary,
yeah,
he's gonna think twice.
Yeah, of course he is.
And especially it comes to the point where maybe his wife gets ill, and he expects extra money, or his daughter gets ill, or son gets ill, or his car engine blows up and he needs a bit of money. He might turn around and go, "Let me do it for my 1 month. Let me make 1 year's salary in 1 month."
But this is the thing. You
then
do
he's
it.
Locked. Then he's locked.
He's locked in, isn't he?
Why did you leave the prison service?
I left the prison service for many, many, many reasons.
But one that stands out?
There was no support whatsoever. And I'm going to tell you this story. I've never told anyone this story on TikTok because you know what it's like. People...
Judge.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, I left because the main reason was there was no support from management whatsoever. And what happened was it was a Friday and it was Muslim prayers.
Yep.
And you get all the prisoners out to go to Muslim prayers, okay? Now, I've got this prisoner out and you put them all in a waiting area, a waiting cell. And he said, "I'm not getting in there. I'm not waiting in there." And I said, "Oh, come on, mate. Like,
there's to pray, bro.
That's it. There's 20 guys in there. Come on. Like, what are you doing?" And he was being very, very awkward and he was very aggressive. And he said, "I'm not going in. If you put me in, it's all going to kick off." So just this once, I thought, I can't be dealing with this. You can stay there for now. I said, "Listen, don't go anywhere. Just stay there. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt." Yeah? So I got a couple of more prisoners out. And as I've come back, a female officer. Now, this is my fault because I should have told the officers that he's outside the cell. I've told him he can. Okay? So as I've come back, he's in the face of a female officer. And this guy was 6'4", 6'5". He was a big guy.
Yeah.
And he was looking down at this officer, screaming in her face. Okay? Now, I've walked over there calmly. And I've got in the middle. And I said, "So-and-so, come on. I've let you say, yeah, but she's trying to get me in the cell." I know that, but all you had to say was,
"I've spoken to
Mr. Edridge, speak to Mr. Edridge. Like, this is really aggressive." And with that, he's pushed me. Now, I've stepped forward and I said, "Don't do that again. Like, what are you doing? I'm the good one here.
helped you.
I'm helping you out. Come on." And with that, he's pushed me again. Okay. So I've called another officer over and I said, "Deal with him. I've got a list. I need to get more prisoners out." And as I've walked off, someone screamed, "Watch out." Okay. And as I've looked around, he's charging towards him. When I say charging, I mean he wants blood.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is all on camera, by the way. We're on the wing.
Yeah.
This is all on camera. And he's running towards me. And I've just stepped to the side and give him a little whack. Okay. And I've restrained him. Now, that was that. The incident was done. The incident was over. It's not a big deal. It happens every day with officers. Okay. The next day, I'll go in and I get a phone call from the governor. "Mr. Edridge, can you come to my office now?" So I walk down to the office and I'm thinking, what's this about? I'm worried. I'm panicking. What's this about? And I get in there and she says, "We are going to investigate you. You're suspended on full pay. because of this incident yesterday.
What?
Yeah. And I said, that's fine, but all you got to do is look at the CCTV. That's all you've got to do. And they didn't. So I'm suspended. Now I'm worrying, yeah, because this is my job on the line. This is my career.
Of course.
So how long do you think I was suspended for?
Well, I'd say you should be suspended. Not should be suspended, but if you should be suspended for a maximum of 1 week.
Right.
I'd say it should be 24 hours. Check the cameras, that come back to work. But
Exactly.
let's say they want to long it 1 week tops.
It could have been done in 1 week, definitely.
Maximum.
Right? It should have been done. The policy is 3 months. Okay? It should have been done in 3 months.
Right.
I was suspended for 18 months, full pay, so they're wasting taxpayers' money, okay? Full pay, so there's me at home, worrying.
18 months? You should have got another job as well.
I did. Well,
Double whammy, mate.
this is the thing, I done, I actually, while I was getting paid every month, I was a delivery driver for like a fast food takeaway. It was cash in hand. So I'm thinking, yeah, let's do it. Let's earn some more money, you know? But 18 months, okay, so there's me at home. I'm worrying. Is my career finished? Like, you know, the mental, that could have caused me.
You've been loyal to them for 5 years.
Exactly. And that could have caused me some severe mental health, really,
Yeah.
you know? So a year and a half passes. I have my hearing. And I sit in front of the governor and HR. And you know what they said to me? They said, yeah, we've looked at the CCTV and all the evidence. And you've got your job back.
You mean they run out of officers and they needed help? That's what they did.
And I looked at them and I said, is this a joke? You've suspended me for a year and a half, full pay, wasting taxpayers' money, affecting my mental health, worrying, when this could have been done in a week. I went back, so I got my job back. I went back on the wing. I was there for 2 weeks. Another incident happened. Someone come running at me, swearing at me, and I thought, do you know what? I'm done. You know, I've done this before. I'm not doing it again. I've got no support. This ain't worth the time. This ain't worth the money. I'm done. And I give my resignation in that day.
So you come running at you, what'd you do? Nothing.
I didn't do nothing. I stepped out of the way. Other officers were there. I ain't dealing with that. I'm not doing it with it. And this is why I said to you earlier, it gets to a point for officers where,
That's enough.
and they don't want to put hands on people when they should do at that incident. Do you get what I mean? And that was me done, mate.
Bloody hell. And what'd you do after that?
After that, I became a mentor and a support worker for ex-prisoners coming out.
Okay.
Trying to put them back on the right road, trying to get them housed.
Do you still do that now?
I don't do that now. I've got my own little business now. So I did that for a year, okay? And again, it weren't for me.
Yeah.
In the end, it weren't for me. I lost all passion for it.
You just hate anything to do with prison at this
Exactly
point.
that, yeah. And I started my own little business, cleaning and garden maintenance, and I've been doing that for 2 years now.
Going well?
It is going well. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to grow in it still, but that's business for you. You know, it's only been
100%.
going for 2 years, and hopefully it carries on going well.
100%. And the thing is, at the end of the day, now you work for yourself. You got your no boss. You are the support.
Yeah,
That's pretty much it.
exactly that. No egg, no drama.
100%. But listen, I like to always end my podcasts on one simple thing. Look into this camera here. Give a message to the youth. Tell the younger generation whatever you want. It's yours. Talk to them.
So, to the younger generation, please think before you start doing something crazy, okay? Because there's always consequences out there. You could be anything you want to be. There's the possibility is unreal. So before you start deciding you want to be a gangster or you want to start doing this and doing that, that's going to put you in jail, think again. You can do it. There's possibilities out there.
Listen, my brother, I don't think there's anything else that needs to be said unless you've got anything else you want to discuss.
I haven't.
For all the viewers out there who are wondering where to find his socials, they're all in the bottom. He's smashing TikTok at the minute, doing very, very well. This is only 10% of his life. If you want to hear the rest of it, it's all over his TikTok. Go over there, give him a follow. Tell him you come from the Blue Tick Show. Let's show him some support as well. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. And thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.